Peace and love. Peace and love. How we feeling? Just coming back in from the day, reviewing the clips. Seeing if I needed to edit anything. It looks like I'm pretty much good. Let me see here. Let me do this right fast. Alrighty. But yeah, I just finished up. I don't need to do any edits. I do have to make a public apology. I had to chop a guy out in the middle of the video, unfortunately, because just random slick stuff. So where we at with it? We got the video from the brother explaining in short his story, how he became homeless, pretty much. Like from A to Z. It wasn't too much in detail. I didn't want to go too much in depth. It was a lot of premature points that we covered that'll definitely be explained in other episodes. And now I'm going to do something called the layout, right? And this is me explaining what's going to happen next, right? So, first things first. I'm going to get this cat's video out and complete. Once that happens, I am going to go ahead and start the intake process myself, so I can go ahead and hop in there, right? Go ahead and get into the shelter system, see what they got rocking, and see how what could be fixed, what could be done in these facilities to get these people the proper resources that they need. Then I am going to reach out to Mass Mutual Aid. Shout out to them. That's a political social organization that feeds the community, feed the homeless as well. Free food, they feed anybody, honestly. Free distros. I think it's on Thursday. I got to get information from them. But when I do, I will also be sharing their announcements and information on my page as well. So once I do that, I would have to give up everything, pretty much. I'm going in barehanded. I'm going in with nothing. You see what I'm saying? I'm going in ground zero. I named this season Ground Zero. So 3 components to the season is all they are is stories, people telling their stories, people telling how to survive this if you ever get into a situation, God forbid. And lastly, motivation. You see what I'm saying? Just in case, not if you get into the situation, just fuck it. Any situation, you need to know how to be able to come up with a solution quick and fucking solve it. The best people are problem solvers. You see what I'm saying? People are able to put together a solution fast. You see what I'm saying? And effectively. And those are the people who win. So at the end of the day, it's like I want everybody to pretty much focus on me pretty much on the basis of this being ground zero, right? So I'm giving up everything. Like I said, I'm giving up everything. I'm about to go into the show to a nothing. I'm talking about like I'm talking about like cold style. Like I've decided to disclose the recordings only to probably my surrounding others, which means like if I have roommates, I have to disclose it with them. You see what I'm saying? And this is just to show people it doesn't matter what demographic you come from. It don't matter what demographic you come from. You can be on a street. You could be in the shelter. You could be in a place. You see what I'm saying? You could be in an apartment. It doesn't matter where you are. You see what I'm saying? You could make it happen. I'm about to prove that real quick because I'm hearing a lot of excuses. I think I need to do this for the people. You see what I'm saying? That's what needs to happen. Because I already did it for myself, to the world and back. And so, and I'll tell my story later on tonight. Do the whole process. That shit should probably I don't know how long that's gonna take, honestly. I got the information. I'm gonna go down there. I'm not allowed to record in the intake. So unfortunately, we won't be able to see that initiate. However, Ground Zero is all about that. It's about New York. You see what I'm saying? It's about me filming homeless people in New York, and having them tell their story. Tell me how you became homeless. Tell me, what do you think is the alternatives? You see what I'm saying? Because I'm about to shine a light on the different demographics of people that's out in New York, that's out anywhere. I'm just starting it in New York. You see what I'm saying? I'm originally from Atlanta. But once again, this was a series that I already had on my mind that I always wanted to put into effect. And so I reached out to a few people and stuff. I got certain things written up. I already have certain people's stories. And that also leads me to a quick tribute as well. I did mention in the earlier video that this is really hard for me to talk about. The youngest individual I met during this homeless journey was 13. And turn this down a little bit. He pretty much he had a tough time, honestly. I met the brother, and the brother was like one of those cats that he was too afraid to ask. You see what I'm saying? And I remember, I had already been outside for a while. I think it was a few years into my homeless journey. And I ran across the brother. The park had closed. And the officer was kicking everybody out the park. And remember I asked him, I said, why are you out here? You're young. You see what I'm saying? You should be inside. Whoop, wop, whoop, wop. And he was telling me he didn't have a place to stay. And he didn't want me to tell anybody or whoop, wop, whoop, wop. I was asking him why wouldn't he go home? But he never explained that. Only thing he always explained was I gotta get it from my mom. I'm not going back home until I got the money or I got what I need. You see what I'm saying? It's this world is a vicious world. Unfortunately, I tried to help the brother out. He was already kind of in a hopeless, kind of dark place. I was giving him just a little bit of bread because I was working at Waffle House and I was homeless and I was thugging it out. You see what I'm saying? You wouldn't even know I was homeless. I had me Planet Fitness membership. I used to go take my showers. I used to get my hair cut. You see what I'm saying? I had a few dollars in my pocket. I said, I kept my phone on. You wouldn't even know that was that. You see what I'm saying? And so I was trying to motivate him. I was just trying to tell him, look, there's a way out. You see what I'm saying? And he also didn't have an education. The brother had been through a lot. He had to drop out of school. Something had happened early in his childhood. He had to drop out of school. And when I say drop out, I'm talking about not even past the 9th grade. Couldn't have been. You see what I'm saying? I'm talking about still in a middle school education. You can very much tell by how I hate to say it, by how he used to articulate and speak, and he would talk slow. And I used to tell him take your time. And he'll get frustrated when he'll try to pronounce something and he really didn't know it, or when somebody will look at him because he talking slow. And I just man, take your time, man. This world's about you, man. You in the center of it, man. You can control it, man. You got it. And I used to just try to pour so much positivity into the brother. Well, long story short, I got him enrolled into an educational program because I really wanted him to get his GED. And that was keeping him a little motivation. I would meet with him every Friday outside of the GED Center in Atlanta, Georgia. And I would say, hey, man, what's the progress? What's going on? And he was like, yo, man, it's fucking coming together. It's happening. I used to see the I used to see the smiles on his face and stuff like that. And one day he just got tired, you know. I don't know what it was. I think he, I don't know. I think he didn't mentally give up on the education. I think he gave up on life, and he gave up on like stability, because he had told me like since he was like 4, he had always been uncomfortable. He had always been moving around. He never had like an actual roof over his head. Like I still want to know like what happened in his childhood to the day. But anywho, whatever it was, goddamn, it was something very dark, very sinister. Because he would never open up about it. It's like he would just stop and he wouldn't open up about it. And he got tired. You see what I'm saying? He got tired of fighting the fight. He got his education and everything, but a little shortly after he disappeared, and I couldn't find him. I used to actually walk around the whole city at night when I couldn't, because in Atlanta, the everything shuts off at 12, and so it's from 12 o'clock to 4, you're stuck where you at if you ain't got a car. And so he disappeared, and I used to try to walk around the city. I would walk around the city a few times, see if I probably, find him or something like that, or just so happen to try to run into him. And I could not find this cat for years, like for years. And one day, unfortunately, they reported an unidentified person. Hold up, they robbing me of my music. Anyways, they reported an unidentified person. You see what I'm saying? And a few weeks later, they identified the person. And you know what's so crazy about his story? And I say all this to say this. That boy went through so much. His name was Vincent Islam. His name is Vincent. I don't even know if y'all can still look him up, but if you can, you can. His name is Vincent. Look up Vincent, 13-year-old, Vincent, 13-year-old boy, Atlanta, Georgia, death. It might come up. But at the end of the day, that man he passed away. And long story short, his mom pop up out of nowhere talking about, oh, I know who that is. She the one who identified him. So you could show up when he face up and stiff. He no longer needs you, unfortunately. And his whole life was pretty much centered around, I read through him. It was centered around him living through another person. He was trying to get something for that woman. He said, I'm not going back home without it. And that was a 13-year-old boy saying that shit, man. A 13-year-old boy who is dedicated, bro. Like, I mean, bro was putting in work. Bro was making life changes, bro. It's like, bro, that memory, that's a tribute. That right there is a tribute. Every time I think of that boy, I grind harder. Cause it's people who who are young as fuck, who going through shit they shouldn't have to go through. And it's all because it's like what me and the brother was saying earlier, it's a vicious cycle. And so I want to break that vicious cycle. You see what I'm saying? And I'm just one man. You see what I'm saying? I can't do it overnight. You see what I'm saying? But I just want to honestly expose the realities of these people's lifestyles, because to be honest, like when people hear homeless, the only thing they think about is the streets. They don't think about the people who duck off in apartments. They don't think about people who hit alleyways. They don't think about people who gotta steal from stores. They don't tell the complete story. The only thing they try to do is categorize everybody in one boat. Shit's not fair, bro. Like, bro, there's people who got real stories out here, bro. Like, people dying to try to get to success out here, bro. And some people a little too comfortable, bro. So it's like I gotta get the people uncomfortable to get them back comfortable. You see what I'm saying? And the only way to do that is let these people tell their story. You see what I'm saying? So I'm gonna finish his up and I'm gonna post his. I'm gonna do the show to intake. If I get roommates, I'll do an interview with them and have them tell their story. I'll tell my story, and that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be the try to be the beacon, try to be the bleak of motivation for these people, because some of these people in some of these facilities, they think it's over. They down and out. You see, it's the 12th round and they breathing hard. You see what I'm saying? And they came all that way. They came all the way to the 12th round just to give up? Nah, man, you can't give up now. Nah, you can't do that. Nah. And this is why I'm here. You see what I'm saying? To raise awareness. You see what I'm saying? It's just small things that we have to pay attention to as a society. And I really do believe that, once again, helping the homeless population is definitely for me. You know, once again, no shame in my game. I used to be homeless. You see what I'm saying? Like, I used to be poorer than poor. You see what I'm saying? I got kicked out on my 18th birthday. My mom told me to pack my bags. She gave me a trash bag, told me to pack all my stuff. And that was my last day I ever seen her. For years. You see what I'm saying? I had no social security card. I didn't have my ID. I didn't have no birth certificate. I didn't know how to file taxes. I didn't know how to pump gas. I went through abuse. I got abused by a woman. You see what I'm saying? There's a whole lot of stuff I could tell you, but I'm not about to go through my full story. You see what I'm saying? My whole point is so many things that could be stacked against you in life. And as long as you find a way to say, I'm finna stand the fuck up and fight this, you can fight. But a lot of y'all give up at the slightest fucking ease of pressure. You see what I'm saying? That is like, bro, you make a plan, you say you're going to tell yourself you're going to do something, and then goddamn, you just do fuck all. It's just like, bro, it's the lack of motivation fucking you up. It's nothing else, bro. It's like you could have anything you want, bro, as long as you put your mind to it. I've never seen anybody work hard at something very hard and not get what they want. You see what I'm saying? It's just like, bro, it's like, I got to show the world, man, that people making too many excuses for themselves. People got too much empathy for themselves. People have too much complaints, too spoiled, spoon-fed, ain't suffered for real. You see what I'm saying? And that's what I'm about to expose. We about to expose the suffering. They made suffering look bad, and they have tried to silence suffering, bro. Like, no, you're supposed to suffer and smile through the pain. Goddamn. It's not about a fashion contest. It's not about who can flex on who and who can make it look like who got more money than the next person. And okay, technically everybody living the same way. I'm telling bro, like bro, when the economy shut down, that proved a pretty good point. Everybody depending on the same power source. And if that shit stopped long enough, the well will dry up. So, and if you don't have survival skills, like I said, I hate to say you're a liability. If you told a lot of people to sleep outside for one day, they would panic. Like, they don't know what to do. That's a problem. That's a problem, bro. Like, some people are really, they feel that privileged. They really feel that privilege. They feel as though, I grew up in the house. Everybody grew up in the house. You see what I'm saying? But the whole point is, sometimes you gotta learn how to live below your means. Because I'm gonna be real, that's one of the greatest lessons I was taught when I was homeless. The hard way. I wasn't always good with finances. You see what I'm saying? I was taught finances through financial hardship. You can't spend what you don't have. So, if somebody give you $10, you see what I'm saying? The way a low spending thinker is going to look at that is in today's economy. Average drink is going to be about $2-3. You see what I'm saying? A cheap snack, if you're thinking on survival tactics, I'll share a quick survival technique. The most affordable thing that you can get in a survival situation is a bread product. A bread product. Bread products stick to your stomach. You see what I'm saying? Bread products last a long time on your stomach. It makes you feel full. You see what I'm saying? So don't go big when you're trying to get food. You want to try to, you want to eat the stocky stuff. You see what I'm saying? So because you want it to be able to store and you want it to still be there. And this is why, like, you see a lot of people don't know this secret as well. If you ever see a lot of people walk around with book bags, but if you notice a homeless person with a book bag, I'm gonna tell you another secret, that the way they pack their food is that of if you're a smart person, you would compress it in your bag and double wrap it. But see, here's the deal: they're compressing it because it's easy to be compressed because it's bread. That's all it is. They can make 10 peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and compress it and save a lot of space in their bag, and they got days of food. Like, that's why I said, bro, like, I gotta expose certain things, because a lot of people are like, oh well, that's nasty. How you gonna store that for days? Well, number one, bread only expired. Come on now, I ain't finna get in that. So saying the bread is good, you see what I'm saying? You know, you got a few days. You see what I'm saying? But the whole point is, there's a few things that that gotta be studied. Just in case anybody end up in these kind of predicaments. Because when you don't know something, you end up a liability. And when you're a liability, you could be taken advantage of. You can be murdered. A lot of things can happen. You could be drugged. Shit, I done heard all types of stories. You see, I don't know, all types of stuff. You see what I'm saying? And then the primary denominator here is the factor that people have a lack of support system. Once again, the lack of support system is a problem. When I was talking to Dane earlier, me and him have a similar lifestyle. We have similar stories. And I met him because I was doing some humanitarian work, and I came across this brother, and I was like, yo, hold up. He had good energy. And I was like, hold up, where you at? Whoop, wop. We exchanged information. He's like, oh, right now, I'm staying in the shelter. I'm trying to get it. Whoop, wop, whoop, wop. And I said, yeah, there's no problem with that, bro. Like, I never look down on anybody. You see what I'm saying? If you up, you should never look down. You see what I'm saying? If you down, you should only be looking up. You see what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, I say all that to say that, man, we gotta strengthen the support system here in America, and we gotta do that on the family side first, before we can even try to take anything into the arena of politics. Because once again, in my political theory, I believe that it's the family job primary to do everything. You see what I'm saying? Like, it really that's common sense that I'm really saying that. You see what I'm saying? But I know I'll probably get a little bite back. I guarantee you. Somebody, they gonna give me some bite back. They gonna be like, oh well, what about what if we didn't have food stamps and whoop wop? And it's like, bro, y'all too entitled, bro. It's like our people are too dependent. You see what I'm saying? Our people are way too dependent. And so this is why I started this series, man. I want to show the people who are really in the trenches. I want to show the people who really goddamn. I'm finna show you some shit, bro. Like, I know places. I know people who went, like, come on now. And I'm not just doing it for this city. You see what I'm saying? I'm doing it for all cities. You see what I'm saying? What's up, Yeshua? It's like is that my bro? Oh shit, that's my boy. Oh, hold up. So let me wrap this up. This is my boy, man. I ain't gonna, hold up. I call my boy. So yeah, I do all of this, bro. We're gonna do this in multiple cities. We're not just doing this in New York, and I call this the war on poverty. You see what I'm saying? New York, this project is just called Ground Zero. This is series 1. Series 1 is Ground Zero, the fundamentals. We getting the biggest city in America out the way. We're going to go ahead and just show you how ruthless it get out here. Then I'm going to start traveling. I'm going to go back home and show you how the pros and cons and how different homeless people live different experiences depending on their access to resources, their environment, the weather, you see what I'm saying? Time zones. There's a lot of stuff that play into this kind of stuff. You see what I'm saying? Because some homeless people in certain states have it easier than other homeless people in other states. And so we're going to touch down on some of these obstacles. But with that being said, peace and love, peace and light. I'm logging off. I'm gonna do some more content work, and hopefully by the end of tonight, I will have my story up in the Atom. You see what I'm saying? Up and posted. But with that being said, for everybody who logged on, everybody supporting, peace and love, man. We starting off with a seed that's small, and we about to reach everybody. I'm about to call you, Yeshua. I'm getting off now, brother. Like, this is an emergency. Peace, love, and light.